Donald Trump was the president. Like, I don't even think it would have been so bad if we had had the right leadership. Uh, Could have went totally different, but that's for another live, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. So
But yeah, so came back from Cali, put together this as what was this like a promo,
yeah,
a promo to get us to you, like a promo to get us hosting a party near you.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. We're thinking
because we
that
was
the
getting
pandemic
ready to
is
go on
gonna
tour,
be.
right?
We're thinking, yeah, the pandemic's gonna be over by the spring, and
Right.
then we're gonna go to National Cannabis Fest in DC.
Yeah, because there was still a lot of festivals planned for that year, and
Hmm.
like things wasn't getting shut down all the way. Like it would be looming. Like
Yeah.
it was still possibilities that we could still have regular outside stuff before everything just started getting shut down. People was like, they wasn't even taking the pandemic serious at
Right,
first.
right.
Um, so
Yeah, they wasn't.
eventually it started like,
Yeah, we almost paid to have our booth at the
yeah, we
National
almost,
Cannabis
yeah,
Fest, and
yeah,
then they shut it down like a month ahead of before.
yeah,
And it was literally like the week before we was thinking like, man, I don't think it's gonna be worth it. Things are shutting down left and right.
right.
Hey, we wasn't gonna get our money back either.
Oh,
Luckily, we
and it was
didn't.
like $1,200.
Yeah. But out of all the bullets that we took, it's nice that that's one avoided.
Yeah,
Um,
we got. Um,
but the next time through here, because I didn't start recording, I had to start recording, so we have it instead of
okay,
going live. So I'll this time through we'll come in play. I'm sorry.
okay.
But yeah, yeah, we preparing ourselves to like the mindset of all right, going to
And if you notice,
what
the
are we gonna do?
logo is different. You can,
Yeah, it's no Olympics
right.
because we went through our Olympic battle, the Olympic committee, some right around that same time when we went to the Marijuana BizCon
Right.
there. So
So you had to change it up. But we were trying to keep it the same. If you see, it says Smoke Olympics. If you look close enough, you can see Smoke Olympics is still alive in there.
Came back from last place.
It's a new world. A world that has challenged us to find new ways. New ways to come together. Way to play. So until the pandemic passes, hashtag alone together. Fuck with who you stuck with. These are the days we're trying
yeah,
to
we're
get back
still
to.
trying to get back to
Still.
it. And we will.
Yeah,
We will.
as we speak, back to the future.
We get into it. Yeah, so yesterday's video was the full of this. You can check this out somewhere on our page, on our YouTube channel. Yeah, this was fire.
The winner came back from last place.
Face. Help CBD House, Vapor House, Stone Queen, Weed Smoke Shop, sponsor. We love you. Couldn't do any of this without you. Play free digital version for a chance to win free copy of Spandex. Talk about that later. That was our Kahoot trial as we attempt
To adapt to the
outdo
pandemic.
ourselves, and adapt to the pandemic.
Right.
That's really what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Trying to give people the way to have people still be able to play, but at a distance. We was realizing that that's what was going to be. Like we could still do it, but we just had to figure it out. While we was figuring out everything else, no stranger to taking our loan.
Yeah.
You know, we had overcome many struggles. Like
persevere.
So pandemic was just another thing. Like we're gonna have to figure this out. But there is a way. Like we knew there was a way, and as you're about to see, it was a journey to find. It was a journey to find out exactly where that way was leading us to, and how we will eventually have to just start anew, have a fresh start. That's what we needed. We didn't know that we needed it because we were still so attached to smoking hempics, then smoke hempics, then smoking hempics, and then being banned from everywhere. Finally taking a breath of fresh air and said we're gonna have to. Is it worth? Like we had to come to that point. Like, is it worth all of this? Like, is it worth going through all of this just for this name? Like, this name, this brand. What is it? Like, what direction are we gonna? What direction are we gonna go in? And
yeah, so we decided to we wasn't gonna stop.
Yeah, we couldn't. We invested too much at this point.
Mama didn't raise no hoe. So he was like, okay, well, we could do something digital because we seen like this is about to be a thing. Like this whole, pandemic. Like we're not about to. It's completely shitting on everything we're trying to do.
School, yeah, because schools was closed. Like it was on a thing we had never been through this. We had never seen nothing like this before. So, Zoom, we didn't know what no Zoom was. But Zoom would take over the pandemic.
Yeah. Skype, you really fucked
Skype,
up. Yeah, you really messed up, Skype. Somehow
Skype had been around the whole time before the pandemic. In the perfect settings,
everything aligned for
Skype to take over up. And Zoom come like,
stay ready, people. Don't get Zoom. Don't Skype yourself.
Yeah. So
Skype should be like, they should be Amazon. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they should at least be Zoom.
Why didn't people use Skype?
It was something with they hadn't upgraded their equipment or just the applicable.
Like Zoom was way easier.
Yeah, it was easier to do. You could download it and use it. The software was just brand new and ready. Where Skype was kind of like,
you got to do this thing, go do this.
Yeah, they was just back a few years.
You need
Yeah, they was back a few years. They haven't caught up.
Yeah,
the mobile accessibility, they didn't have it. Yeah. They were still wanting you to like use the desktop or something.
Skype. Now you don't even hear about Skype. Everything is Zoom. Like
they actually went. They actually lost money when they should have been making it.
Oh.
Yeah. Because now the Zoom just took all of their market share, whereas at least before the pandemic they was something.
Yeah.
So,
like Zoom just proved how useless Skype was. Like it's like nothing personal. It's just.
But you've been doing it all wrong.
You had the right idea if you just. But shout out to that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Skype.
Shout out to
That's a
Sky.
good memory.
That's a good lesson too.
Yeah.
I definitely say like one of the reasons why, because people always ask us like, why don't you go to California with this, or why don't you, go to major city, Colorado, Denver, somewhere where it's legal, and but it's like because we don't want to get Skype. We
Right.
don't want
Yeah.
somebody with the money and
And the
assets
means.
and the
Right.
means to take this, us amateurs not knowing nothing about nothing, uh, and just take it and go with it and something because we couldn't get the trademark,
Right.
right? Even though we got the copyright for this, we still didn't have it in hand though. I don't think at the time it took forever to get that. We just got the copyright for SOHiGH, so um, people can just take ideas and run with them. And
Right.
we knew that we were Skype, but we know that we wanted to be Zoom. And so that's the reason why, like, okay, you gotta pace yourself, you know. So
Yeah. Make calculated moves
yeah, yeah.
as to where
Don't
if you
overextend
can make the
yourself.
people
Yeah.
fall in love with you first, long as you don't give them nothing, have a solid fan base. That's what we trying to kind of like. We needed to keep our fan base because we shot out the gate. I think we was here like around 600 people. We was trying to hold on to um, digitally,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
somewhere around there, and
Yeah.
trying to hold on. we those sacred 600, I call them. Like we was trying to hold on. Like we was basing everything around them.
Yeah.
Um,
Which now I think I don't know how you feel, but I kind of feel like I'm ready to like not let go of those people, and I pray that those people follow us and
right, yeah,
find us again somewhere along our journey. Like as we come to Twitch, we're starting from 0
right,
viewers,
0.
and we'll slowly like bring people over and like hey we're doing this on Twitch whatever. But it's kind of like we want to gain a new following from Twitch,
Right,
one that's planned and strategically thought out as opposed to I don't know if it's in yesterday's edit if it made it or not, but there was a part where we were saying we explained how like a brother-in-law just hit the button or
oh
somebody
yeah,
just hit the button and was
yeah,
like, "Oh, you don't know how to post it? Here you go, boom." And it's like, "No, we wasn't ready."
right,
Anyway, but yeah, like I said, God bless him. And so, but this is more focused and determined. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
purposeful. Doing. I feel like now we're on a red. Like, look at us. We look like a team. We got things. Like we look like we've done some things. Like we
right.
know what we're doing. We've been doing this over 2 years now, playing this game at a professional level. And so yeah. So, but one of the things we said we was gonna do a Kahoot, and we also wanted to, in preparation for when. Well, we still were trying to put the games out.
Right, yeah, and we still had the Smoking Hippies name.
Yeah, so we wanted to. It was like, okay, well, let's shoot commercials and at least explain to people how, like,
Because we
we'll,
was trying to figure
dice
out,
stuff
yeah,
up like this, our event, and then we'll also show something else. And I'm gonna pull up something of what we were trying to do, our HTW, which is one of the effective games. Verb's the word.
everything was still game
Yeah,
focused. I mean, everything was centralized for the events. Didn't know the investments for yet.
right. Yeah,
Trying to still give it all to you because we loved it all.
yeah. The less was, yeah, that was a smoke. Oh,
Boom, filled it out.
yeah.
See, we still got old like this.
Yeah, for some reason I had some old BS in there.
That's what I said. Like, there's a lot to it. If anybody out there knows anything about rebranding or stuff, it takes a lot. Like that's why companies just don't rebrand. Like it's a big thing to rebrand and try to hold on to everything that people loved about the old brand
Hmm.
while letting go of the things that's causing you to have to rebrand, letting go of them, but still try to keep yourself uh, focused, centered, so you can continue on with the new brand. But it was still something like something didn't feel right. Wasn't getting the what we thought it should.
Yeah,
Wasn't getting the we wasn't putting like and we can't you can't win it when you don't have nothing and it's
we can't
just
market.
you.
Remember, we
Right,
can't.
yeah. It's like
We,
you
we
can't blame it on nothing.
we're banned on Facebook and every social media platform. We're banned pretty much because
Yeah.
of the.
Remember we got banned and we got kicked off of Kickstarter. Um Fortunate enough to get our 24K in a day, but it was more than that. Like still needed the exposure that Kickstarter could have gave us.
Yeah,
Um
yeah. If
More
we could have
so than
hit
the
that certain
money, right?
tier,
Yeah.
yeah. And I
Because it
didn't think
wasn't
about
supposed
it
to
like
come from
that.
one person,
Yeah,
more so than a bunch of people.
yeah,
And but we was off as quick as we got on there, they kicked us off. Um, and
yeah.
we wasn't prepared for that.
Because there was other cannabis stuff on there, which is
Yeah,
another thing. Like even with Facebook and TikTok, all this stuff, all these places we've been banned from,
it's
they
always
all have something else. There's
cannabis
something cannabis,
related.
something
Yeah,
on there,
right.
but there's like this fine line. It's like, well, but if you're making like money off of it,
About when it's like a lot of them people are grandfathered in and stuff too. Like depending on when you started and what type of um following you
hashtags
have,
maybe. Yeah. Hmm.
this bringing them revenue stream ads because that's all the YouTube is about. Just they want to be able to stream their ads through your content. All they can do that if you got enough following, they let you slide on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And of course, we didn't have that. We had none of that stuff that allowed us to slide
We had
over anything.
we had that sacred 600. That was it.
Yeah, we had those people, and we wanted to make sure they were aloof to everything that we were um,
Right. Well, I mean that they were aware of
aware. Yeah,
everything
like
we were doing.
and
Um, but yeah, so we did stuff like this to get some attention, and but really after this, because we had trouble selling the games
mm,
because the games cost us $35 to make. We had to sell them for. That's why we were trying to sell them for
that,
60.
right,
But nobody wants to pay that much for a game. Not nobody, but
especially in the
who's
middle
got
of a
60?
pandemic,
Who's got $60 in the middle of a pandemic to play a
a
game
game that
that
requires you
requires
to
5 people at least, right? So it
right.
was just a real hit to us. Um, and so even when we try to mark it down, I mean that helped us a little bit. We could move a couple of them, but just wasn't that we wasn't moving units like that. And so we was like, all right, well let's let's do something else.
And we always had SOH, like that was always a thing from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Um, just from the Smoke-O-Hempics to Smoke-O-Hempic, however you want to say it, however we was forced to say it, I should say. Um,
It was
we
always SOH.
it was always
Yeah.
SOH. We always had SOH. So
And that was one of the key things and was keeping it was so high, how we came up with so high.
yeah,
Because it allowed us to keep the SOH. So and we was like, that makes sense. Whatever. So
it wasn't too far of a stretch, but we
yeah.
would lose too many
Yeah.
people in the confusion.
Yeah. And it was
Um,
like we could have went somewhere totally different. Like we could have did like the imp competitions, something like that. I don't know. But
but yeah,
it just kind of like you wanted to keep it in our comfort zone, like in our wheelhouse, whatever.
hmm
SOH did that. Whatever. So but yeah, but before we even got to that, did the Kahoot thing because one, the pandemic, two, because we were gonna have to create questions for the
so
show.
explain to the people what Kahoot is.
All right, so those who don't know, Kahoot is typically used as like educational. learning tool. It's used in schools a lot to do like quizzes for certain subjects and things. And so we got the bright idea that we could teach people about cannabis. Do it right.
Right.
Um, and I think they banned us on there for a second, but then they unbanned us for I don't know, or we paid for them to unban us or something like that. I don't know. It's a
Right.
lot of bandage.
It's,
Yeah, but so we wanted to use that, and so we tried to do something where we did it for like the month of April. That while you're locked in the house, here we got this, right?
right.
If you want to play this,
Follow this link.
yeah. And most people thought it was stupid. Um, it was a little stupid, or whatever. Uh, if you're, but it was only stupid from the aspect of like, if you're expecting a dope ass like game, like a dope ass app to play, it's not
Hmm.
PUBG, like it's not, it's
It's all it
it's like a
is to answer
school game.
questions.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's just a questionnaire.
yeah, essentially.
And
And we had some pictures and some things. Tried to use the app to its capacity, but at the end of the day,
it just
it's for
didn't,
kids,
right, yeah.
and
It
you
just
got
didn't allow us to bring us, it didn't allow us to bring the experience that we wanted you to have with our name attached. Because we have been preaching about how what a dope experience this was, and then Kahoot was not that dope experience.
not at all.
It
Yeah,
wasn't nothing that
it wasn't good.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but we did use the Kahoot thing to segue into the game show. I don't know if that was part of the reason why. I know that one of the reasons why how SoHiGH came to be was obviously the pandemic and we
Hmm.
couldn't be out with people anymore. And we wanted to show still wanted to show what the dope experience that playing this game is.
Right.
And so I think it initially we started out like we wanted to shoot a commercial to show people ways. Um, and then but now I'm just now realizing like then when you threw had the Kahoot element and
It
we had
was
these
a game.
questions that
Right.
we had to create, and it was like, why don't we just maybe we could do a game show?
Right.
And I'm sure one of the fans or somebody suggested something that said it like early on. I know, like, why don't you do a game show?
Yeah.
How the hell am I gonna do a game show? This ain't Hollywood,
Right.
Ohio.
Easy to have an idea, but
Yeah,
another thing to execute.
yeah.
So game show seemed simple enough, and then after the Kahoot, it was like, okay, maybe this game show thing ain't as difficult as we once thought. And basically, because we thought about what do we want to be in our game, in our show, and
Mhm.
that's what lead us to. You're gonna see where it led us.
Okay, yeah,
It led us to shoot what we was calling them pilot. These pilot shows um, centered around the game show experience, about the experience we wanted you to have playing this game. We automatically realized that we wasn't gonna be able to have all the events because that's what the Kahoot taught us. Kahoot taught us that you basically Kahoot was one or two of the events out of the game. That it was the music and movie questions and then the history and chemistry questions. We had separated them uh, when we played the game. So realized we could still have fun with the game without all 10 events. Basically take the best out of the 10 and form and go down this game show path. And we started we had you see how many people we had? When we started it, it was about this many people behind the scenes as well. Now it's just me and him.
Yeah, man. So, uh, alright, well, I think as soon as it cuts out.
Right. We finally had the battery die. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. for the technical.
Hardness for the if
Battery died.
yeah. So we're gonna power through this. Picking up where we left off. This is us trying to
So I think we at SOHiGH.
this is practice at my old townhouse. And we're actually playing Kahoot
Right, but we didn't put it up there
because we're idiots.
so
And we
we
had no
watched
idea.
ourselves play it.
Or no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say what I've been saying. Nobody went to film school,
Right.
so
Look how many people is on. Have 3 contestants. I'm to the immediate. What is that? All the way to the left.
yeah. We
And I
got
got
Hemp
somebody with
Homie.
me.
We got White. We got the Cannabis Store. Yours. We got
It's truly cluttered.
yeah. It's
And
just
we were all
blankets.
playing a Kahoot.
Yeah. Yeah. We got
No way for you to follow along.
yeah. Well, this was more so for like just capturing the practice. Uh, I think like letting us critique our own performance. I guess it had to be because that's all it allows us to do. Like it wasn't.
But at
We
the
didn't
time when
capture
we
the
were filming
screen
it,
because we was probably acting like we
yeah,
was.
I don't think we had that in mind.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in the end, we got to see what we was able to use it for. At the moment when we were doing it, 100%.
We was gonna do
This
this.
was it.
We're gonna show this to people.
This is what it was about right here. Like we thought we had made it.
No,
We got yes, we had the
because we did have a green screen or we have a green back, so maybe we thought that that was gonna.
but like I said, we had no idea of anything.
We just look like we have no fucking clue what we're doing here. However, those cardboard podiums, though, now those shits
Yeah, those were
magnifique. Yeah,
those was part of the process of.
yeah.
We were excited. We're genuinely excited
Yeah.
of our growth.
So, yeah. So we had these cardboard podiums, and we're playing this Kahoot game that we got on the TV that you can. And so we were trying to see if we could use the. We were either trying to show people how to play the Kahoot, or or promote that, and or we were practicing for SOHiGH,
Right.
which we're gonna get into that quickly because nobody wants to see these cardboard podiums much longer. I know I don't.
Absolutely serving no purpose.
Well, it does make it like.
Oh, the cardboard podium served more of a purpose than I did. Um,
Oh yeah.
but I knew I just wanted to be a part of it, and I was trying to find my way.
Well, you were doing the sound, the
Yeah,
audio
that's
guy.
right. We had yeah, it was
Hadn't
you
met,
can't hear it, but it was
yeah,
like comedy sound.
hadn't met Doug yet. Shout out to Doug. Yeah.
So I was providing. I had a soundboard in my phone, comedy sounds of
Yeah.
make fun
Oh
of
my
people.
God! You'll be able to hear him here on the one that we pull up here.
Question wrong. Sort of like a cult. Like this is where announcers table.
All right, so here this goes, and this is decent.
3, 2, 1.
And then we got away from the goofy.
All right, welcome back,
That
everybody.
But
Welcome
you just
to So High, the game
allowed
show.
us to
I'm
get
Ken
to this.
Basor, and with me, as always,
It's all
Box,
like
the grand champion of
okay.
all things cannabis, the Ganja Guru, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not all the way right.
Yeah,
we
so
have with us
So it was like,
well,
the
yeah,
hemp
medical. Yeah.
homie, the hemp
yeah,
honey,
yeah.
and the weed warrior. Give it up for them as well,
So we look,
people.
so we took out what we thought wrong with
Now, please tell us
what we had,
where
the
you from,
Kahoot that we had just
homie?
watched.
Hemp homie. Okay.